Insurance is not just insurance. It's not just buying the death benefit. There are a lot of things insurance can do in intergenerational wealth transfer.
A lot of those business owners are now considering life insurance and life insurance product in their succession planning.
Now business owners are understanding the need for an advisor.
Like at the end of the day, you have to put as much coverage in place as early as you can.
I'll be bringing each week a different guest with all the answers that you have the questions for. And this way you can come back to my podcast for any questions that come to your mind, and you can focus just on working, as everything else this podcast will provide you. Hi, and welcome to the Simple Wealth Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Gakhar. My work helping successful business owners and professionals like you build and maintain your lifestyle and legacy exposes me to many very interesting specialists in tax, accounting, law, estates, and investments. In this podcast, I share those people with you and your team so that you can hear directly from them. So, if you are a successful business owner or self-employed professional, stay tuned for a lot of business building value. Today, I'm excited to have Stéphane as my guest.
Hi.
Welcome, Stéphane.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm very honored.
Thank you for coming. Stéphane is the Vice President of Insurance Distribution at Sun Life for almost 9 years, and he leads a team of 120 professionals across the country, helping advisors like me and clients every day. What a great role.
Thank you.
Being involved in the insurance industry for over 30 years, including the last 23 years with Sun Life in various roles, he represents Sun Life at various industry and regulatory communities. So today, we're going to talk to the best. We're going to talk to somebody who has so much knowledge so my business owners and self-employed professionals can hear directly from you. First of all, thank you so much for coming all the way from Montreal for my podcast, as I really wanted my viewers to hear from you, to the knowledge. I know we met on Sun Life conference. We was on that ship, and I told you that I want you to come, and you agreed for that in the month of May. Yeah. And here we are. Thank you so much once again, Stéphane. So Stéphane, as you know, my clientele is business owners and self-employed professionals. And my podcast is very specially a knowledge-giving podcast for them. So what, according to you, are the trends in the insurance industry that you are observing and have an impact on business owners and other professionals?
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, again, thank you. As I said earlier, I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you.
My team specialize in the high net worth and business owner distribution insurance. So I think that we've been able to observe a certain number of trends. The first one that I want to call out is for a number of years, if we go back in time, we've been expecting a significant transfer of wealth from business owner to their next generation. Yeah. We're talking more than trillions of dollars in Canada in businesses that need to be transferred in the coming years. And we're really in the middle of that. Currently, we're seeing business owner getting ready for that. In parallel, what we are observing is a lot of those business owners are now considering life insurance and life insurance product in their succession planning. And personally, I believe that a lot of that, if you remember, in 2017, the federal government introduced new legislation that changed a little bit how structured the structure of the life insurance product.
I remember that year very well. 2016 December was totally different.
It was a total reveal. What it also did is it gave you the opportunity to many advisors similar to you to go and talk with accounting firms, with lawyers in 2015, in 2016 about these changes. And at the same time, giving you the opportunity to demonstrate the value that these product are bringing. All that to say that if we move forward 7 years later, a lot of those accountants and lawyers are now much more familiar with the product and with the professionalism of the advisor. I think that at that point, there's been a strong connection that was established between those two communities that is now proving, because what we're seeing in the last 7 years, I'll close on this, is a significant increase of the case size and the premiums on these transactions, which is all part of the financial planning that are done by the business owner to transfer their asset to the next generation.
Yes. Insurance is not just insurance. It's not just buying the death benefit. There are a lot of things insurance can do in intergenerational wealth transfer. And you know what? That's so interesting, Stéphane. Just like you said that, even in my practice, most of the clients come to me through accountants or estate planning lawyers.
Exactly.
And there was a time accountants didn't know these things. And now accountants actually know, and many times they introduce their clients that, okay, add this to your portfolio. So thank you for sharing that.
Exactly. And it's a two-way street, because not only they became more familiar, but they understood how to apply these strategy within the planning that they're creating. So it's a partnership. They are working with you in the implementation of those strategy.
Absolutely. So do you believe that some clients are missing some important aspects of the protection?
In my mind, there's a missed opportunity on the Canadian marketplace. And it's not really, of course, we could argue that most business owners don't have all the coverage they should have from a life insurance standpoint. But I think that one product that is often missed is critical illness insurance.
Right.
I think that the business owner don't always understand the impact that an illness can have on their business, not necessarily their own illness. That their illness could have a significant impact on the business, but they have disability insurance to cover some of that, and they have wealth that could cover for some of that. But when it comes to a close collaborator, a key person in the enterprise, and also a key person inside the family, because of course you need to protect, because if someone in your family gets sick for any reason, it's not your own disability insurance that will cover that. Right. So I think that we're not seeing enough critical illness insurance implemented into the practice and into for the business owner for their protection. And it's interesting because, like, as you already figured because of my accent, I'm coming from Quebec, and in Quebec, there's a far greater penetration of critical illness insurance into the business owner market. There's a huge discrepancy. I'm looking at my own sales currently. As I said, we're specialized business owner across the country. We're selling 50% of our critical illness insurance in Quebec. Because they have found ways to structure that in an appropriate way for the business owner market. And I think this is a missed opportunity in the rest of the country, and on Ontario particularly.
And what do you think is the reason for that? Is just unawareness, or people don't know?
It's probably unawareness. I think it's practice also. Like, I think that there's a need to understand the product well. Like the advisor needs to be more familiar with the product in order to present. I think that there is some automatic reaction to go with the protection. Like, for sure, you need to cover the health and the transmission. That's where you need the highest coverage. Disability, of course, that's a given. Then critical illness becomes a little bit like, it's not integrated as much. I don't think there's a specific barrier to it. But I think that it's all about knowledge and getting the product understood better by both sides of the equation.
Yeah, advisors as well as the client.
Exactly.
So just like people buy whole life corporately owned insurance for their business, the premiums are not an expense to the business. They're not a deductible expense to the business. They're expense, but not a deductible expense to the business. But they are, the cash value is definitely asset in the books of the corporation.
Yes.
What happens for the critical illness premiums paid by the business for the key person? What is that? Maybe a lot of people have this question because I have it.
Okay. In terms, I'm certainly not the tax expert.
Absolutely. I just thought maybe we can just generally talk about it.
For me, what I know about is that, particularly in Quebec, there's some structure where the premiums are shared between the owner himself and
the corporation. Yes. Shared CI.
And there's way to structure it so that it's lesser of a burden for the corporation to include that in their protection. Of course, one other thing that I know is, of course, if the beneficiary of the critical illness insurance is the corporation, the money will have to be used inside the corporation in order to maintain its tax exempt status. Of course, if you're taking the money outside of the corporation, there's tax implication that, as I said, I'm not the tax expert, but I understand that but there's plenty of usage inside the corporation. I think that they can.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So now, again, with your expertise, I would like you to tell what key roles a trusted insurance advisor like me should be playing with a business owner.
The financial advisor has a key opportunity to be the trusted advisor. That person, you in your case, you can be the quarterback of the transaction, coordinating the various aspects of the planning, because you're the only one that has a full view.
Absolutely.
The financial planning aspect gives you the full view of the different aspects that are required by the business owner. So it's a key role in when you're building your trust with your client. You can talk about protection. You're talking about the investment. You can talk about the legal aspect and then bring in the legal expert, the lawyer when you're requiring it in the planning. You can then go to the accountant. No one will take the time to have the complete 360 view around you. Your accountant is going to be focused on your tax aspect, on filling your report and looking at that aspect very well. But he's not necessarily always going to think about the legal implication of some of the transaction. Then you go to, and who can be better positioned than the trusted investment financial planner? There's no one. Like it's even more than your own general practitioner like the physician. Like you can really coordinate. So that's a key role. There's no other professional that will play as a key role than the financial advisor.
And I truly agree to that, Stéphane. When Mark Aruda was there from Sun Life, and I was just talking to him that I had recently at that particular time had done FEA designation.
Yes.
And thank you to Sun Life. Right. Because of Sun Life, I did that. And that designation really solidified the role of advisor right in the center and dealing with all other advisors of the client. Yes. So I think this is really, and the way you've put it as a trusted advisor, of course, being an advisor, we have a better picture of the client. We know exactly, and then we can always talk to their accountants, their lawyers, or introduce them to somebody for the overall planning.
Of all the relationship that we've built over time, one that I'm the most proud of is that connection with the FEA, the Family Enterprise Organization.
Yes.
I think that they're playing an education role that no one else is.
Oh,
doing.
yes.
And they're like talking about serious situation. Practical. Family situation. We all live our own family situation.
Right.
As a business owner, the implication of some of those family situations are like, like huge.
Huge.
Okay, huge. I was trying to find the right word. Huge. And having someone that is trusted enough within the family to establish the different point of contact is key in these, in the succession planning, in the only running the business sometimes, because not all kids are involved in the business. So making sure that the different points are connected is key.
And this is so different that now business owners are understanding the need for an advisor. Nobody people thought they would do it within families. That's the reason, shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves, that most businesses, by the time they reach the third generation, business is gone. Now with the proper advisors, proper planning, it can go on from generations to generations. So you're from Sun Life. What makes Sun Life different in, when it comes to serving this market? All carriers are good. All advisors are good. But every carrier has some unique products for my clients. So what do you think?
I think it's a question of product, but it's also the question of our approach. We strongly believe in the value of advice. We strongly believe in the value of helping advisor grow their practice.
Yes.
Giving them not only the resources to solve the problem at the point of sale, but helping you develop a practice that is growing with you. We always said that we prefer to have a small piece of a growing pie than a big piece of a small pie.
Yeah.
And we totally are investing a lot of money into the development of tools to support the advisor and support the advisor in the development and in the relationship with their client. So we have professionals that are equipping the advisor on social media, on not only on the insurance strategy or in the planning aspect, but in all the different aspects, branding, for example. This is something that we're investing. I talked earlier about the connection that we have with Family Enterprise.
Yeah.
This is the type of investment that Sun Life is doing because for many years, we've been very focused on the development of advisor. Sun Life is also one of the only carrier in Canada that still continue to invest massively in the development of new advisor because we'll need new generation of advisor. And there's very few carrier that are committed to that. So we're really committed to the advisor community. We're really committed to the development of these advisor. I think that at the end of the day, that's what makes the biggest difference. Product can be copied from one carrier to another, and my competitors have excellent product.
Yeah.
But I think that our approach is distinctive on that front. So that's why I believe that we can make a big difference. My team, as we said earlier, there is 120 professionals across the country to support the advisor. I like to pride myself that they are the ones because we're doing large case every day. We're doing business owner cases every day. So we're used to that. We're not afraid to get involved to support you when you need it.
And this is something which I think my listeners would love to hear that when they're dealing with us, it's not just me. It's not Sim Gakhar.
Yeah.
It's the whole carrier behind us. Those big professionals, the support that we get, which is amazing that anything we can take them back to the company and they can help us. So thank you so much for that. Stéphane, now, according to you, insurance can help any business owner at any time. So when you put it, what do you think they should buy it at the start of their career? Or do you think they should buy at the peak of their career? Is there a time that you suggest them that you should buy the insurance?
No, because you cannot time your death, okay? During the evolution of your company, during the evolution of your business, your needs are going to grow, okay?
Yeah.
So the earlier you start and implemented those good practice of constantly reviewing your planning, constantly adapting to your practice, the better it is. So there's not a good timing. We totally understand that when you're starting a business when you're starting a business, you don't have the liquidity to put in place.
That's what I was going to say.
The significant transactions that are going to last for long. But like term insurance is so cheap these days. Like you can buy millions of dollars of coverage for like hundreds of dollars per month early in your development. And this coverage can evolve over time. Then you get into a mature business and you have access to a lot more liquidity. And then you can convert, invest into permanent insurance, but put as much, like at the end of the day, you have to put as much coverage in place as early as you can. I don't think that there's a moment, oh, I'll deal with that when, no, deal with it right away, because you never know what can happen tomorrow, because you're not going to be. So does that apply same to critical illness as well? Do you say the same thing, that term, they can buy a critical illness as a term, which is a cheaper option? Yeah. Absolutely. And of course, the impact of an illness, if you're on a young family, on someone a little bit younger, will be just, again, huge. So putting in place the right product at the right time is key. And there's I think that it's a Chinese saying that says that the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago, and the next best time is today. And I think that you have the same with life insurance would apply.
But a lot of time we hear business owners, they say that, oh, I have my savings account, or I have my investment account where I'm putting in money. I don't need to put it in insurance. Yeah. And you've cleared it so well that insurance is not something where you're only growing money.
Exactly.
There's protection. There's a lot of other ways insurance can be used. It can be a very good tax saving vehicle. That is something I've discussed in many podcasts. That's for business owners. Instead of paying tax, of course, you have to pay tax. You make money. You live in a country like Canada. We have so many facilities. We have to pay tax. But there's so many ways you can mitigate. You can minimize your taxes. And insurance can be one of the vehicles that you can contact your accountants. And a lot of accountants know that. If they're not, then, we can always educate them. So that is something, a very, very good side of that. And I always say that you can buy dollars for pennies. Insurance is pennies, which gives you dollars.
Exactly. And even your saving account that you have, that is your money. If you're trying to get it out of your corporation into your own pocket, you don't have to pay tax with that.
Yeah.
With life insurance, the taxation level will be totally different. And most of the money will get out of your corporation on a tax-free basis. And I think that that's the main benefit. And also, it's going to be there exactly at an unfortunate time, but really at the time you will really need it the most. When your family is suffering from an illness, when your family is suffering from a death, it's troubling time, and having access to some capital is key in those moments. So, there's no better good time than today to buy insurance and protect your business, protect your family.
And transfer the risk on the insurance company.
Exactly.
And you grow your business, work hard, do as much as you can, and let insurance company take care of the risk. That was fantastic, Stéphane. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom with my viewers. And this has been very helpful. And I'm sure my business owners, clients will go back to this podcast again and again, because a lot of things you said were very valuable.
Excellent. Thank you. I hope it is helpful. I think at the end of the day, we really have to protect more Canadian. This is a key element of our mission, and we wish them the best at the end.
Thank you so much. And that was another episode of the Simple Wealth Wisdom podcast. Please let us know in the comments what you like the most about this podcast. And if there's anything else you want to see or ask, I'll make sure to bring that to you in our future podcast. Watch for us again. Until next time, stay safe. I'm Gakhar. Thank you.